Hey everyone, welcome back to the North American Summer Challenger Series. Tonight's final matchup is a couple minutes away, so we're going to kill that time by showing you what happened last night when Vortex hit the Rift against Team Coast. And these teams are in very opposite scenarios. Coast looking amazing, undefeated so far. Vortex, though, couldn't buy a win. Yeah,
but they could get a new jungler in Ko. Formerly from Gamers 2, from Ninjas in Pajamas, and Cloud9 and Clips over in the European Challenger Series. Very aggressive jungler. They brought him onto the lineup to see what he could do, and he kind of showed what he could do right off the bat.
Yeah, so we can see what happens now as we get ourselves into the game. Of course, Team Coast have looked awesome the whole time, and their new jungler Shrimp from this split has been nothing but amazing. And this is just cute. So Chris goes for the invade, goes, oh, I see Billy Boss. Oh, I see Ko.
But his team didn't follow him that far forward, and...
Whoa! People, Mash jumps forward, double slow from him. Ko has Ghost, so he can't jump the wall. First blood Mash.
Shout out to whoever does that. Those replays are brilliant.
And now a fight in the bot lane. Shrimp is here again, and Shrimp is here to get some kills. A quick equalizer. See, Chris knows how to right-click before he presses the equalizer button, so this goes in the right direction. Quick double kill there. Coast already 3-0. 15 minutes in, they're trying to chase down. Coast wants some kills. They want to knock down some champions. They're trying to run away, actually, because Coast are here, and Coast are going to kill everyone.
Mash gets the reset, jumps, pops Ko, jumps again, and he forces the flash here because of his red buff.
And it just gets rougher and rougher. 12-2 already in kills. Coast, despite the fact that our previous series today and yesterday have been very close, Coast is absolutely slaughtering right here. Vortex replaced their jungler, replaced their support, and it's not helping.
Yeah, Biofrost in place of Matt. And Coast just having a great split altogether. Almost an ace here.
But Coast. Sorry, I heard Ko and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh yeah, no, Coast.
Yeah, Coast are awesome.
Coast are just having a great split. Over and over again. Chris right there, so low. Ends up getting out.
Ko goes down. Mash just absolutely massive. 3 items plus a Quicksilver Sash. Just cannot be held down. Yeah, kills off Billy Boss. I mean, Mash, and we heard Lod say it. He thinks that Mash is the best AD carry in Challenger, and right now this game, unkilled, doing a great job.
Yeah, and Shrimp had a triple knock up there at the bottom of the screen, and he goes for more here, knocking up Biofrost right on the equalizer, and then they just roll through the backline of this team.
Goodbye. Everybody, goodbye. The backline jumped on by the Tristana, 9-0 and 10. Mash goes on to end the game, 11-0 and 11. A 38-minute win. Took Coast a while, took them 5 dragons, but they won the game. Mash was massive. Chris did great as well. Perfect score for him. No deaths, high KDA, and Shrimp is just the best jungler ever.
Yeah, Chris has the most damage in the game, and Mash just toppled down turrets. Shrimp, highest kill participation as well. 23 out of the 27 kills he set up. And that guy, I mean, ever since I saw him start playing, I just can't stop talking about how good Shrimp is.
Yeah, he's super good. But one player who is aimed to make another big impact in this game is, in fact, that jungler Shrimp. If you're going to gush, go for it, man.
Oh, man. Shrimp went 7-1 and 16, but that's not even that impressive compared to what this guy has been doing in the Challenger scene. Over the 5 games that he has played, Shrimp averages 72 CS above his opponents at the end of the game. He is 72 CS above the enemy jungler, and he maintains 83% kill participation while doing so. He is creating pressure by farming the enemy's farm. He's saying, you fight me for this farm, or else I'm going to take it scot-free, or I'm going to take it and I'm going to kill you at the same time.
Yeah.
When he plays Rek'Sai in particular over 3 games, he's 122 CS over the other jungler at the end. This guy is an absolute monster. He just creates pressure in a very different way than what you're used to. He's not showing up to the lanes. He's treating the enemy jungle as a lane itself.
Yeah.
I love seeing that, though, because it's always action-packed. He's always doing something, and the activity he's putting onto the map is forcing the enemy's hand.
Yeah, and if they're not ready to react to it, then stuff goes badly. Shrimp has definitely been an amazing force for this team. Coast, again, they're undefeated heading into the last couple of weeks here. To be fair, they've had, I would argue, the easiest schedule. They've played Winter Fox, Team Imagine, and Vortex. There's only 2 total wins across those teams combined so far. So, of course, Coast is a part of that. To be fair, he's 6 of those losses, but they're up against Vortex, who are still looking to try to find a win. They've changed their lineup, I think, almost every single week so far, trying to find a system that works for them, and so far it hasn't happened. Their losses are getting almost worse over time. They had a close game 1 against Cloud9 Tempest last Tuesday, and since then it hasn't been good for Vortex.
You can see Vortex banning 2 bans towards Shrimp already. So far he's played Evelynn, Nunu, and Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
The 2 times that Rek'Sai has been banned, he's played Rek'Sai the 3 other times. So 100% pretty much pick ban here for Shrimp on Rek'Sai. If it's up, he plays it. If it's down, he swaps to something else like Nunu or Evelynn. Nunu off the field. If the Evelyn's the last ban coming through, which I would expect at this point, but there's, okay, so the Alistar off the field as well, because Conquan actually had 2 great performances on that champion. He's 0-0 and 29.
Well, this crits a couple of pitches, so Ryze goes over. Okay, first pick Ryze, but with the Kalista ban, it means Sivir's big, and it means also that Nautilus is a second-tier support after Alistar's the big one. That's kind of what I expect to see Vortex pick if we go power pick-wise, but Ryze is big, and we talked about him a little bit. We see him banned, actually, just as often as he was back in 5.11, but instead of permaroot, it's just a lot more damage, and it seems like all these high-tier competitive teams put a lot of priority on Ryze being important.
Yeah. He does a lot of damage. He does more damage, and the fact that his ultimate makes his abilities do AoE means he's just doing more damage. It's frankly a little frustrating.
I mean, that's always been the case, though. Ryze was always the machine gun damage dealer. It was, and I feel like that hasn't really changed since the old Ryze. Like, the damage output is differently timed, right? He gets the crazy casting windows sort of in spurts, I suppose, but Team Coast and take some time to make their next few choices. If Shrimp goes for Nidalee, I'd be a bit surprised.
He's just going through jungle.
I think they're just hovering things, honestly. We'll see what they actually go for here in a bit. There's a lot of good champions open. It really just up to what Coast wants to play here. The entire field is now open. Seems always the big team fighter. Not going to go for this one right now. It looks like he will get that Evelynn that wasn't banned away.
I just wanted to see more from him. He's played the Nunu. He's played the Rex. I almost called Rek'Sai Shrimp, just because of how much I've seen him on that champion, how good he is at it. So Nunu, Rek'Sai, and he's just going to go back to the other one that we've seen him on. I wanted to see like a Rengar. I wanted to see him pull something else out. But if it's going to work for him, you might as well go for it. So Pekin Wolf might be on that Lulu.
Yeah, I mean, it's double flex pick. Yeah, like Lulu can go in any of these 3 lanes, top, mid, or support, and Ryze can go top or mid. So we'll see what the comp ends up actually being, but Evelynn will be the fairly squishy front line. I feel like it's hard to build enough tank stats on Evelynn, except that Shrimp gets so damn much money that he'll just be tanky anyway, probably. But Lulu trying to survive that a little bit more. Vortex to make their few choices here, looking at already a very good engaging bot lane. Makes me think Poke would not be very strong for Coast. I would not like to see them run a Poke comp, but they're obviously not running one with Ryze here. But Vortex able to pick team fights, and they're going to go and grab Nidalee and Maokai. So I'm surprised to see Nidalee in this composition. I don't know what she really does with this group, but Maokai in the top lane is going to be a very durable front line to start team fights out.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a Nautilus top because we saw a lot of that in the North American LCS. But it's going to be a Maokai top. It's going to be a Nautilus bottom. And you immediately see MASH go for the Vayne lock-in here.
Wow. Right into Sivir. Wants that matchup. And he knows it's into Sivir Nautilus as well, so he's got to be able to dodge hooks. If a hook lands, it's really bad for Vayne.
Well, he does have a Lulu for Peel. He has another threat of a Ryze, so you can't really go all in on this Vayne and ignore everybody else around here.
I remember like last season, I used to really love Ryze Vayne as an overall duo because it's 2 same range, super high damage threats. If you kill one, the other's probably going to kill you off, and you just can't really knock them both down reliably. And they're both annoying to kill in their own right. Vayne stealths away. Ryze used to be super tanky. Now his build's a lot more squishy, but it's still a very high damage backline here. They're looking at a Azir as well for Pekin Wolf, which means like pretty much the highest damage comp like literally possible. With Lulu as their only way to get Peel and Shrimp on Evelynn as the only tank.
Yeah, what I've been noticing is Pekin Wolf is kind of the filler bait. He plays a long-range mage in the mid lane or a mid-range mage. He'll play like Victor or something. Something the team fight. Exactly. He'll play Team Fighter. Kog'Maw, Azir, Victor are the 3 things we've seen him on. And he's just going back to Azir. He plays in the back line. He's just another person who team fights. And then everybody else kind of could do the crazy stuff, and Pekin Wolf is the rock, the consistent force in the mid lane. Even if somebody messes up, he's still going to be able to bring his damage to the table, because I'm trying to see here how many deaths he actually has. He has 5 total across the entire thing. But MASH so far only has 1 death across the entire split.
Yeah, and MASH is actually quickly rising up to having a ridiculously high KDA. If you want to do the math, I'm going to talk for a little bit. Last pick comes through for Vortex, and it's going to be the mid lane Varus. So Vortex actually does go for a Poke comp after all. They decide Team Coast team fighting is too high. They're not going to even bother trying that one, and they are going to hope they can disengage. And in fact, much like the last one, there's not a lot of good hard engage tools. It's like up to a whimsied Evelynn to start fights at, which will be a little bit difficult. It can happen. We saw the picks happen in the C9T game, but it will require significant effort from Team Coast without any reliable lockdown.
Well, we saw something very similar to this. I believe it was Gamsu. It was Shifter playing mid lane Lulu, I believe, and he sped him up, and they flashed over the Chain of Corruption, and he was able to root, right? Because you have the ultimate for spells, or for
super speedy rise then.
And then you also have the Lulu to speed you up as well. Also, MASH has a 76 KDA.
76. So
76.
He needs 24 kills or assists to hit 100 KDA. We almost had it 2 years ago in Challenger, or was it 1 year ago? Yeah, it was 1 year ago in European Challenger. The Gamers 2 bot lane of Yuki and Dude hit 96 KDA in a duo lane.
And then they kept dying.
Until they met NIP in the playoffs, in the semifinals, I believe. So I'm waiting for the day where there's a 100 KDA player or even group of players. I'm okay with that.
Well, that's the thing. It was Yuki and Dude.
Yeah.
It was the duo. This is one guy. This is just MASH.
He's 2 games away from 100 KDA.
He got a 22 KDA last game. So he could be very close this game, depending on how bloody it is. And that was against Vortex, his 22 KDA.
Yeah. Well, the high poke team with a lot of engage, though. Maokai and Nautilus can both do scary things to Vayne. Ko, in his second game on this lineup here, was a really well-regarded jungler back in 2014. We haven't seen a lot from him since, though.
He jumped around really high-tier teams, though. NIP, C9 Eclipse, Gamers 2. He was just all over the place in those top teams.
Well, he's up in here on a, unfortunately, floundering Vortex lineup. We can see if he can turn these guys around. The jungle Nidalee for Ko. Last time he did play Olaf, so certainly a more unique champion pool. Not going for the Gragas, not going for the though it was banned, the Nunu, that sort of safe style of stuff.
Yeah, he also got off to the worst possible start too.
Yeah,
dying to the level 1 invade or kind of counter push out of the lane.
At least he died in time to farm the jungle again.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't at like 145 or something, but still, yeah, like giving a kill away to Tristana's never easy.
Yeah, giving a kill away to Tristana, blowing your summoner spell Ghost as well was really big, because then he can't ghost into the lanes very early on and just clock somebody and continue to keep that pattern up. Get summoner spells for it, because Olaf blowing summoner spells is rather rough if you don't have that summoner to blow yourself.
Well, we'll see what happens as Conquan spots the jungle start and says, okay, Veritas and Biofrost went for a fairly hard leash for Ko's blue buff. We don't see that almost at all from duo lanes, but it happened here. Meanwhile, it looks like Chris and Shrimp easily able to grab their own blue and Gromp. They both hit 2. And all will be well. TP from Billy Boss, who had taken down, looks like the Raptors himself. Chris will recall, get his own potion to show up top lane, so we will have matched lanes. Vayne into Sivir, always a bit of an interesting one. If Vortex pushes in too hard, Biofrost can't do anything in the lane anymore, and he will be unable to go for any pressure, and it makes it a 2v1 lane, which is not good for Sivir. It will push in a bit, though, so I have to see if Vortex can keep this lane. Oh, man, if Veritas misses some CS here. If they can keep this lane from sticking under the turret.
Pushing is, like you said, always very risky, because you're going to have Shrimp on Evelyn. This Evelyn will show up to the lane, through the lane, from the side of the lane. Your wards pretty much mean nothing. There's
not a lot of gank assist, though. It's not like it's a Thresh or a Blitzcrank lane where like the Evelyn gank turns into something. So with only Lulu being really the crowd control here, it should be okay. If Vortex wants to chain push, they're probably safe to do so.
Thinking about what lane would you want to gank as this Evelyn? I would honestly say mid or top.
Yeah, top could do it as well. Just anything with like true CC. Bishu's squishy enough and doesn't have cleanse, so the chilling smite that he's already bought could definitely work. We'll see if anything happens right now. Top lane actually a very big CS disparity. We're seeing 20-6 right now in farm.
He's gonna pick up a lot of it here, though.
There's a good 10 under the turret, so we can pretty much equalize this here. Mid lane equal. Bishu really trying to harass Pekin Wolf. And it's always fun landing that healing debuff when someone chugs a potion. You just feel so good about it.
It's one of the good times for that Grievous Wounds. Shrimp finally picking up his red buff for himself. Ko looking down bottom, looking to make the first move of this game as a jungler.
It's not revealed, but how is this gank supposed to work? Bot lane is pushing back through, so that's part of it. The lane is pushing back in towards the Vortex duo. Shrimp gets spotted thanks to the hop from Ko. And he says, hey guys, Evelyn's around here. He's going to have to outsmite the Evelyn. He doesn't know if Eve has smite up or not. But looks like it'll be safely grabbed by Ko regardless. There's the jump. Oh, doesn't have to smite it. I guess the reveal range is the same as the smite range, right? So Shrimp couldn't sneak that one easily.
Yeah. It's fairly big. The reveal range is a little bit bigger than you would think.
Well, I play Evelyn. It's exactly what I think.
Yeah. How big is it? Quick, give me the number.
Looks like 650-ish. Pull on a Quan, gonna land a root as well. Level 3 on him, but there's no Nidalee around.
Nidalee kind of stalking. Looking for Peek and Wolf.
Not quite gonna land that one. All right, Ko. The question is, how fast can Ko really farm? He did go challenging Smite Nidalee, by the way, so another different build for him. But right now, down in CS under Shrimp, who is trying to power farm on this Evelyn. The range is 700, I've been told, so I was close.
Close. But it was bigger than you would think.
Well, but keep in mind, I'm an 80 carry player, so attack ranges are like the numbers I'm normally going from.
That's true. But Jinx gets that attack range eventually.
More than that.
700?
Well, her 700 is edge to edge, right? Which means it's
That's true.
more like 815.
Oh, man. You're just making it sound more OP.
I mean, it outranges Rise W.
Yeah.
And Vortex sitting on a ward.
But look at this. As soon as they know where Ko is, Shrimp is farming his Raptors.
Yep.
And now he's going to go for more
Crouch.
of his jungle. This is how Shrimp works.
And the thing is,
he's almost got twice his CS.
They should know that Coast warded this. Even if you ward from a brush, the particle of placing a ward down still plays.
They just saw it die, too.
I don't think they saw it because their bodies are on top of it. I don't think they noticed.
You could hear it. They just... Oh, man.
Well, this is not going to work at all.
Yeah.
Well, top lane's fighting, though. It's a level 6 Rise who's out of mana. Good luck casting spells that time. Chris just on a Doran's ringing some potions, not doing much. Billy Boss happy to sustain back up with his potions. 6 CS difference there. Not a big one, but one that exists.
I'm looking at the gold right now. 400 gold difference, and Shrimp has 400 gold over Ko.
I mean, he's got double the guy's CS going for Warrior Evelyn.
Yep.
Actually, I don't typically see non-Trailblazer Evelyn also. I feel like... Am I wrong here, or is it... I feel like I normally see Trailblazer running.
You normally see Trailblazer. You can go for this, though, because you don't need mana regen or anything.
Yeah, I don't like lose so much health.
Yeah, she's fairly squishy in the jungle, for sure.
All right, well, Shrimp, show me how it's done. Health bar might get low. If you're going to power farm, I'm just curious to see how it's going to work out for him. Ko only level 4 to Shrimp's 5, gets the deep ward down to spot what might be happening, but will not get any information on Evelyn's camps. She doesn't even let drop that much anyway, so. One of the less useful wards. Shrimp looking for the mid lane here, wants to jump Bishu right across the wall, jumps in, pops the ulti, somebody he'll use. Picking up gets the knockback, good flash to stay safe, and the chain's gonna land. What?
What?
He was rooted! Go! I'm tilted.
Freak! Don't leave me!
I'm tilted.
Don't leave me!
Tilted. Where's missing a cannon minion?
Oh, man.
With Smite.
Yes, that's the top lane Smite, missing a cannon minion. It's your only job in the game, is to farm.
I actually missed a cannon with Smite like 2 days ago.
Oh.
Because I went to like Smite auto it, and between the Smite and auto, a minion killed it, and I'm like, I missed a cannon with Smite. I'm literally the worst League of Legends player alive. I was just impatient.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens when you go to clear a wave and you have Trailblazing Smite, and you smite the wave, and you're like, oh, wait, but I left like 4 up at half HP in the Ignited turret shot.
Root him. Yep. Chris finds Billy Boss, who has already been able to buy items, so Billy Boss in a real bad spot. Doesn't even need it. Q forward, and Chris gets the kill. Billy Boss hoped he could TP away, was wrong. First blood solo kill top lane, and Chris has so much time to knock this stuff down.
Chris has done this pretty much every game so far. He played Echo twice in a row in the middle of it. He played 2 Gnar, 2 Echo, 1 Rumble, and every time he's been able to solo kill the top laner at some point in the game.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the day where Chris has to do more than just sit in the lane and kill the other guy.
Yeah.
But oh man, he just destroyed that Maokai. Billy Boss, little aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, Chris really hasn't been tested yet. He's played against the 3 weakest teams in Challenger right now, the ones that are 4th, 5th, and 6th right here. You could argue the same for Shrimp potentially, but I mean, Coast just still looks so dominant. Rod of Ages first for Chris, looks like. No tier yet.
Oh man, Shrimp 2 levels up, but Ko's gonna pick this up, grab the red for himself. He's gonna hit level 6 off of it. And now the counter jungling begins, because in order to pretty much deal with Shrimp, you have to counter jungle him at some point. And him and Peek and Wolf have shown that they aren't 100% on the same page at all times.
And he's still trying to set something up, but Bishu's already been ganked to the mid lane. A great ult hits Peek and Wolf, who cleanse and jumps in, and Bishu's one hit from dead gets the kill. Shrimp gonna run the other way through to dodge away from Ko, but a lot of damage from Nidalee. Knocked back with the Emperor's Divide, not gonna happen. Ko gets the kill. No assist for Billy Boss, who walked down. And now, will they be able to properly chase down this Evelynn? Likely not. Chris gonna cut off the retreat. Shrimp is fine.
Or they're going to wait for him to come by and jump on Billy Boss. Yep.
Sapling spots Chris, and Shrimp.
Don't let it hit Shrimp.
All right, but Billy Boss knows better than to even try for this one. They know Shrimp was last seen on that side of the jungle.
Oh, he supercharged himself. Okay, so it looks like he's not going to try to look for that play.
More camps cleared, and Shrimp goes back into the jungle. Shrimp's not the kind of guy to wait for a gank in a lane.
No, because that ruins his
not farming. Yeah.
Ruins his uptime against the entire map. He's just ready to farm.
This is the kind of guy who's going to make Devourer look broken. He's going to get it like 13 minutes, and you're going to be like, what the heck is this?
That's true. He doesn't really go for early dragons, though, which is really big for Devourer.
That's true.
Dragon only adds 1 to his CS score. He could have got Raptors in that time.
Oh, he's actually looking for the gank top lane. And Chris is going to land the root. Shrimp shows up a bit late, but Ku is here. They're going to look for Chris, but he flashed away to be safe. And now Shrimp, overextended. Forced to flash away himself. A Javelin is going to land. Chris has no way of dodging it. Good damage comes out, but they can't get the tower dive.
Yeah, no mana from Chris. Chris, if he had more in his tank, he would have been able to actually come out with a victory there. But just kind of push them off the turret. They have no way to TP back to this. So there's going to be a lot of damage on this turret. They could possibly take it here.
Yeah, Ko with the blue buff is going to have plenty of mana to heal Billy Boss, heal himself, get the attack speed on. Bishu slightly behind it. Oh, misses the ulti. And that was a cleanseless Peek and Wolf, which could have meant the actual champion going down. First turn of the game, though, goes to Vortex, and they've tied up the gold because of this. The counter gank top lane works out. Despite getting first blood, Billy Boss still answering back in the top lane.
And Ko picks up a lot of those minions for himself, too.
Yeah.
Evening up that score.
He's actually tied in gold now with Shrimp thanks to that kill. And I think Shrimp got a kill too. It's not like there's a big difference here. So
he also got local gold from the turret as well.
Yeah, true. So
a nice little boost to him.
All right, so armor going to be built up for Shrimp soon. It is a pretty AD-heavy team. Maokai's not going to do much. Nidalee will do some, but it's otherwise the Varus and Sivir show, so Ninja Tabby to be expected here for Shrimp. Ko does get his jungle enchant done finally. And Bishu just stacking up the tier off the Brutalizer.
And this is one of the first times in all of Challenger for this split that Coast has had a gold deficit. It's very small, but it's one of the first times that they have. Because Coast usually get a very early first blood, and then they snowball off of that into turrets, and they you never get a lead over them again.
They even got first blood, to be fair. It was a really good counter gank, though, in the turret kill. So all props to Vortex for holding on. Dragon not going to happen. Looks like Coast. Oh, whoa. Oh dear. Peek and Wolf. Oh, that was. It wouldn't have killed. There's not a lot of damage yet on Bishu, but that was so much damage that was narrowly avoided. Mid lane under pressure. It's a forced recall for Peek and Wolf. And this is going to be a mid lane pretty cleanly cleared. It's a much better recall now for the
Chris looking for the solo.
Revealed out by a sapling. Billy Boss able to play this lane safely enough, but Chris still is just denying so much farm. It's a 10 CS lead. It was not only the first blood and the bad recall, but then multiple times afterwards, just zoning the Maokai away from the minion line, denying golden XP.
Oh man, I was talking about it last game. I love playing Nidalee and doing this, where you just show up to the lane, give it some auto attacks, heal, siege, good to go. You pick up turrets fairly easily that way, and it's a great objective to play towards as a Nidalee player.
Yeah, if your team ever push people out of the wave, if you ever force them to recall, if you can show up first without the jungler being there, Shrimp wasn't there to defend it and clear the wave away. Maybe he didn't want to be there because of the threat of a Varus ulti, but either way, it doesn't happen. 2 turrets to 0, 1,000 gold lead for Vortex. Blue buff cleanly goes to Bishu. And Vortex, the 3rd time in a row today, the underdog with an early game lead, maybe looking to pick up a win. We've had only 2-0s in the North American Challenger Series so far.
Yeah.
It's true. This might be our first 1-1 split.
see, though, Dragon goes over to Coast. Billy Boss pushes out the top lane extraordinarily hard. Big Wolf gets hit extraordinarily hard at the same time.
Yeah.
When you're getting chunked out like this.
You know, Bishu hasn't bought in a while. He's sitting on 1,500 gold, so Manamune, I believe, can be afforded roughly at this point. It's close to that amount. Easy wave clear. More attack damage comes in soon, and of course, Peek and Wolf now going for an arm guard second to survive this poke. Cloth armor in tow.
Evened up the CS in the top lane as well, so Billy Boss with that shove paying off, but there's going to be a little bit more falling into the hands of Chris.
And 1v1, Veritas cannot sit in this lane. Mash will easily chase him down. A really good boomerang blade that brings him to half, but with Ruin King, he's going to lifesteal right back up. Not going to be a concern. This turret, though, losing health slowly but surely. Vortex maybe looking at a 3-0 turret game. Chris hiding far away. He does not have the vision to know if Ko is top lane. You can see very smart hesitation by Chris, but he gets the ward down. Feels safe enough, and Billy Boss in the same situation does not know where Evelyn could be. Lets it get pushed in.
Chris throws out a lot of spells. It's no wonder he's out of mana all the time.
He's got a tier now, so he's trying to stack that as best he can. Bishu continuing to land poke on a Peek and Wolf, but with no turret there. Peek and Wolf right now is actually safe from getting dived with Chris roaming down. He's spotted by this ward. Ko, oh my god, he misses the javelin.
Oh man, Bishu's poke on this Varus is deadly. I ran into it in solo queue a couple times. It just takes over the game. Especially with a comp like this, where everybody's going to be susceptible to your poke. Shrimp will get mildly tanky as an Evelyn. Chris, like you said, he's not going to get that tanky, but these are prime poke targets. These are the people that you want to be poking all the time. Ko, I think he has red timer. Is red coming up shortly?
He got the red buff steal, so he must.
He's hanging out in this area.
He's trying to catch Evelyn running around, I think.
They don't know where Shrimp is.
They're making the play for bot lane, that was it. The bot lane was already getting pushed in. They wanted to make sure that this turret could go down. If there was a defense, they can collapse on it. So Vortex are playing a few steps ahead. They're definitely playing a pretty smart game here.
They're looking for Bishu.
Yeah.
They saw him walk this way. Oh, man.
With low again, he's got Cleanse Flash, shouldn't be a kill. Now keep in mind, when Vortex lost game 1 to Coast, they got first blooded in a level 1. They got jumped on in ganks, they got really far down in kills, and it was just a snowball of gold leads. This is actually a game where they actually have a decent amount of gold, and Vortex can maybe do something good. Ko,
that's aggressive.
Jumped on pretty heavily. Shrimp can almost knock him down. They pop the Nautilus ult to try to kill him. A big whiff on the boomerang blade, and Chris comes in with Flash, looks for Veritas. In comes Shrimp yet again, but getting poked down. This will be a kill. Veritas gets the credit. Biofrost will not land a very good anchor, but Conquan is going to go down. A double kill for Veritas.
They fought it without Peek and Wolf, without Mash. They were clearing the mid wave. That was really aggressive without the rest of the team. And this is the one issue with Coast that I've been kind of worried about, is there were signs in their games of communication. Are we going to go? Are we not going to go? Shrimp is invaded, been invaded on, and then Peek and Wolf didn't help him. Things like that have happened, and it makes me wonder how much this team can be on the same page at all times. Because when something like that happens, it's a definite red flag that there is something going on, and it wasn't communicated ahead of time.
It wasn't, but certainly Vortex communication looking a little bit better here. Red buff will not get stolen away. It will go securely to Mash, but now sitting on a 3,000 gold lead. Vortex, despite the first blood to Chris, all of their lanes have been dominant. All of their lanes have been pushing in. All 3 turrets went down. If they can keep the waves pushed up, Coast won't get that gold back for a long time. And Dragon's only 2 minutes away. This is something Vortex could definitely play for.
Those 3 turrets are huge.
Yeah.
They need to
especially
get some
this
of these
early
out of
in.
the turrets.
It's really big item spikes that you can't answer otherwise.
And when you get these turrets, you just want to push forward. You were talking about it. Push forward, keep them away from yours so they can't reclaim that gold, and just start warding up their jungle, start pressing even further forward. Because as soon as you let up on the pressure, you let them get 1 turret, they rotate to the second, and then the gold's just even again.
Yeah. This gold lead basically is the reason that the mid laner and AD carry have upgraded boots and their opponents don't. That's roughly the crystallization of this gold advantage right here. And it can definitely be a very big deal when you've got the move speed and the combat stats. Biofrost, though, just freaking destroyed under the turret. Did not respect the rise power. Now, thankfully for them, Dragon's still a minute away, so it's not going to be anything given up, but big pickup there. Gonna give more breathing room for Coast.
I'm glad we removed the perma-root cases from Rise. But now he just kills you in 1 or 2.
Well, a turret helps when you're a no item support.
Yeah, it was pretty great. He just killed him so quickly. He had flash as well. Not able to use it there on Biofrost.
All right, so the wave clear, even without the support alive, it's a bit of a risk, but Mash is top lane, and so Winterfox know they are Vortex. The characters are similar. Vortex able to continue the siege bot lane, but you can see the wave clear of Peek and Wolf is enough to make top lane get killed without anything gained on the other side. Good split push by Mash, 194 CS is very high. He's back to tied with this Sivir.
And he just gets the shove. Nobody can answer him for a while.
There are no duelists who can beat Mash 1v1 right now.
Wait, what? They're pinging.
They're saying assist me on Baron.
What?
This seems unlikely.
Yeah. Dragon?
No, they're all over.
They're saying when they go for Dragon, we go for Baron.
Wow. They're going to try. Mash pulls aggro early.
It's going to work.
It just might. You're going to see that. Oh my god. Guys. Oh dear lord. Vortex say, guys, they might be on Baron. In fact, they are. Coast doing so much damage to it. And this could be a very clean and quick Baron pickup. It's getting lower and lower in health. And wow.
Oh my god.
The 20-minute Baron works. What a great plan by Coast. And out they go.
As soon as they went for Dragon, they didn't even get the Dragon on the side of Vortex. And they're left with nothing.
Blue team's turret has
They'll get it now.
They'll
They
get
get
it
mid pushed in.
but
they killed the Azir turret that actually bought a lot of time, so mid couldn't get pushed either. Very smart plan by Coast. 1,500 gold surge and a lot of map control now with the Baron buff on for the next 2.5 minutes.
And the Blade of the Ruined King Vayne helps you do it so quickly, and then you pull in your mid laner who's an Azir. Yeah, it's going to go down quickly. They pick it up. They get themselves right back in this game. 300 gold difference after being down 3,000.
Great stuff by these guys. So, roughly tied game. Waves cleared back and forth. And now Coast. Do they choose to play defensively with Baron? Veritas?
Oh, we didn't know he was that close!
Flash not required. There's no way he's getting out of that one. Kill goes over to Mash.
Yeah.
KDA goes up 1, 23 more to go.
When you're looking at who's coming at you and you only see the Vayne, you know, oh, he's out of range of me, he's not going to get me. But then the Evelynn comes up and immediately instant casts you from further than the Vayne was. Yeah, it's going to take you by surprise. They get the turret in the bottom lane and they just surge past the 3,000 gold lead and they come to a 1K for themselves, overcoming 4,000 gold in just a matter of 2 minutes.
The turrets are falling pretty rapidly. Baron buff makes it easy as well. 22 minutes in, bot lane tier 2 under fire, and no one's here to defend this, really. It's just the Nautilus. Coast a bit gun shy, though. Don't do too much for this one. Keep in mind, though, Nautilus takes a lot of damage, down to half already. Mash still pushing this down.
He's got to be a little careful. They do have TP on Chris, so he can reinforce his position if they get jumped on. But what you need to do is just have Chris farm up, get this top lane, now shove out the mid lane, which is constantly being pushed in by Peek and Wolf, and the fact that you have Baron. This is just more gold for you. You're going to get these 3 turrets back that you didn't have at the start.
And that's what's going to happen to the gold lead here. It's going to go right back into their favor. 1 kill lead, 1 Baron lead as well, and now it's a 2,000 gold lead overall for Coast. The farmer's the same. It's the neutral objectives that have put them ahead now. Vortex having to play defensively off a game that they were certainly winning until that one great call by Coast. Co just farming what he can, and for the first time, I think ever in Challenger, Shrimp is getting out-farmed.
There was one game where he was down 7 CS at the end of the game.
Okay.
That's it. He's been up like 140, 120, and then it was up 1 CS, and then another one was down 7 CS.
Okay, well he's down 16, so
it's the most that he's been down.
Ko is the new king of Challenger.
Well, he has 100% participation for his team. He didn't have that rough start that he had yesterday, so it's very hard to judge his performance on that Olaf. But this is a champion he's much more familiar with taking over the game on. And like we said, these are going to be squishy poke targets. The Aegis of the Legion and Locket will come through eventually for Shrimp, but everybody is very squishy. Bishu and Ko, we're going to have a great time poking through them.
Let's continue on. Raptors cleared away. Bishu's still getting what farm he can. Core items all done. The Armor Pen and the Mana Mune are here. The Mirror Mana combined isn't too far away. Only 100 mana to go on that one, so that'll be a nice spike in power. But there's a fight coming along. Ulti's not going to land, but the Nautilus one will, and they're going to catch up Shrimp. Emperor's Divide not going to matter. Bunch of poke goes through, but Ko in a bad spot. Wolf answers back a 1-for-1. Chris locked to the front line, but these soldiers going to push away the back line by themselves. Vortex cannot take this fight. A triple kill for Wolf. Jumped up by Veritas. Zone just keeps him alive.
Mash gonna pick up another for himself.
All right, Mash have gotten 4 so far in this game. His KDA now 80 in the Challenger Series. Very, very good job for himself. 25 minutes in, Coast have just turned it on, and Baron buff or not, they are growing a very large gold lead, almost 4,000. Mid lane 2-2 should go down as well.
Ooh, poke coming out from Bishu. Wolf is gonna back off before that can take him down, and Coast just surged. 4,000 gold up now.
Yep.
Shrimp did not play that very well, but Wolf was there to salvage the situation, get his first 3 kills of the game. You can see right here, Shrimp hooked. It was a good wall, but he goes down, and then Ko jumps forward, picked up, and Wolf is just taking over this fight. His Q to the backline and his 2 autos onto
so
Bishu and Veritas, huge. And then you know his Q is just coming up shortly. Slides in front of everybody. Really well played there by Wolf. Consistent force of the team coming through.
Yeah, the choice to Q to the backline and not onto the Maokai was so crucial. He zoned out the backline because of the just gigantic reach of those soldiers. What a great choice there. What a great play by Wolf. 8-4, Coast up 4,000 gold here. 26 minutes in. Definitely a big margin for them. And that's the Kale's done for Conquan as well, makes it even safer.
That's a huge part of Azir, is as soon as the front line becomes kind of the back line and starts backing off, you are 100% fine to queue and place your soldiers through the front line and hit the back line. Azir is a mage that has great backline reach and backline DPS, so you need to lock him up and get him out of the fight. But the problem is that his Emperor's Divide keeps him safe for so long. You saw Billy Boss wanted to jump in there, but then he got flanked from the side after the Emperor's Divide came out. Oh,
wow, Veritas. Weird spell. I don't know if he expected a flash route, but that didn't come through. Whatever, it doesn't even cost anything. Cooldown to be back. So we get to this mid-game stage where Coast are certainly winning by a bit, but it's not insurmountable. It is big, but workable. And Vortex still has this very good poke comp, but Coast able to find these individual fights. Mash going in hard. He's got the Whimsy on. Goes for Billy Boss. Gets him easily. This will be another dead turret. This split-up game working so well for Coast. They basically 3-on-1 the top laner.
I was like, how did Shrimp get an assist there? He used his locket to get an assist.
Nice.
Like, he's way out of range. Nice little, cute little play there. This guy just loves gold.
Of course.
No matter what, he's going to try to get as much gold as possible.
If he likes gold so much, why is he in Master Tier?
That's true. I think he's a challenger
okay,
now.
Challenger.
He's a challenger now. It's a little golden.
6,000 gold lead Coast. Continue to find their mark in this game. Vortex knocked those 3 turrets down at the very start. This game was 3 turrets to 0, and now it's 5-3 flipped in the favor of Team Coast. There's nothing going well for Vortex for a very long time now.
Yeah, that big call to go for the Baron just turned the game around. It looked like one that Mash was making. He was on that top side of the map, and he's a big vocal shot caller of this team.
Void Staff in for Wolf as well. He's going to crush team fights whether he hits tanks or not. And what can Vortex do? They have a poke team. They have wave clear, but it seems like they can't really use it cleanly enough because Coast have the ability to start these fights, these split push battles. The Whimsy Vayne chasing down the tank who's stacking MR. The random picks from Shrimp getting flanks. The Wolf big plays. Coast able to play a pretty chill game where they just keep picking up advantages.
So today and yesterday have been about a few things for the top 3 teams. It's been one, just establishing yourself as you are a top 3 team. And the way they were doing that is, it's strange to say, but you can just crush a bottom team, right?
Yeah.
But they've been doing that. They've been showing they can do that. Now they're showing they can come back from a deficit. And oh man, Shrimp caught out, gets himself a shield.
Ton of crowd control. Ko's around. That'll be a kill picked up. Ko gets the kill for it as well.
Baron's live too.
And Ryze's bot lane. Now he's got teleport though. Chris can join, but this could be a risk Vortex could take, but they're on top of wards. They're on top of Scuttlecrab. They don't even try. Mid lane's not going to go down anytime soon. There's nothing picked up, and Chris keeps pushing bot lane out.
He's backing now. going to see that you no longer...
safe here. Like, Vortex, it seems like they don't know how to secure advantages. They killed the enemy jungler. They fought an Azir passive for it and let Ryze push all the way into their inhibitor turret. Vortex don't seem to have any kinds of plans at all for what they want to do with this game. They let top and bot be pushed all the way without reacting. By the time they clear those waves, Evelyn's back alive and Coast of bath control again.
Coast, I'm saying they were solidifying themselves as a top team because they're coming back from disadvantages like that. They're given an advantage, or at least an opportunity to take an advantage, and you see that they jump on it. And it's been something that all the top 3 teams have been showing us this last week. Renegades did it. We saw Cloud9 Tempest do it. They had 4K gold down, and then they jumped back into the lead off of teamwork plays that they were able to orchestrate and set up. And that's a mark of a good team. It's not that when we're ahead, we win. When we're behind, we lose. It's you can win under different
When we're ahead, we win. When we're behind, we win.
Exactly.
Coast looking to continue their undefeated streak, 6-0. This was the team that won a single game in the LCS, and it was the worst record we've ever seen from an LCS team. They got auto-demoted back down to Challenger. They changed up the roster. They added Shrimp, who has been nothing but wonderful so far for Coast. And here's the attempted engage, double slow. Bijou locked up, goes down too fast. Biofrost as well, a 2 for 0. Double kill for Chris, who continues to dominate 4-0 in this game. Mash improves to an 82 KDA in Challenger, and they're going to head over towards what might be Baron.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt a Baron happening right now. They have the Vayne. They have Peek and Wolf with his damage over the wall. Chris is just going to do some zoning duty. Is he going to go on to Ko?
Didn't see him.
Not yet.
Ward over the wall, so no chance for that one. Passive pop. Baron goes down, secured quickly and easily. No smite up, but they didn't need it. Second Baron of the game. As many Barons as Dragons in this one. But an 8,000 gold lead means Coast can do pretty much whatever they want when they come back to this one. Their siege is okay, thanks to Azir. And they might push in top lane tier 2 pretty cleanly.
Yeah, but their split push is crazy. Chris is level 17, and the highest member on Vortex is Veritas at 15.
Yeah.
Solo laners are 15 and 14 now. We just saw Billy Boss hit 15 from 14. So Chris is 2 levels up on the enemy top laner. Rank 3 ultimate. He's just ready to go. He has this huge advantage, 30 CS.
Move up attempt. Grabbed by Bijou. The ulti's going to land as well. They might jump on Chris. Ko lands the javelin. A big anchor toss as well. But a re-engage thanks to Lulu. Keeps Chris alive for a second. Finally, Billy Boss gets the kill. But here goes Peek and Wolf. Gets 1. Oh. Looks for 2. Bijou's on the wrong side of this wall. Down he goes. Double kill now. 2 for 1. Chris's first death. But still a great fight for Coast all said and done. Minute on Dragon, but plenty of time to recall, heal up, and push. And
they just fight when they have an advantage, and they were able to press it once again. Now they're just going to press down mid lane. They have wave clear. They have way to start this off. Chris, he takes some damage. It hits his shield. He gets another shield here from the Locket, and then just boom, all this damage. The AoE, the ultimate is on, hitting so many people, and then Peek and Wolf's damage on top of it across everybody who just dogpiled in. Nice Shurima slide, and then the pickup on Bijou.
Javelin by Ko took Conquan low, but just not low enough. Talisman of Ascension Lulu, I'm so glad to see that item be picked up as a prioritized core item on support. I think it's the best one you could buy. Exceptions really only would be Nautilus and Shen as champions who would go face, but even on Thresh, I think Relic Shield and Ascension is the correct build. But either way, 9,000 gold, 8.5 I guess is Coast's lead. They're here in time for Dragon Mash. We'll stay.
He's just bored, waiting for the spawn.
Yep. Easy pickup, though. Dragon number 3, bonus move speed now to Coast. Completely in control. They did not get really any turrets with the Baron buff. They're still got 45 seconds on that, but split push bot lane. There's no turrets there to easily grab. Top lane, the slow walk for Chris. He won't get there before Baron times out, though. And all of Baron did was win a team fight. They would have won anyway. And secure a Dragon. Wolf on the runaway, but he's got teammates to his right, and Chris has teleport top lane anyway. Billy Boss's teleport is down, so he's sticking with the team, but Chris will be top lane in the next 15 seconds. Someone has to answer that. Shrimp looking to see where people are going.
Still have the Baron for a little bit. Pushing up, and Chris will be able to get this top lane turret. Billy Boss doesn't count. Billy Boss is still 3 levels down to Chris. I'm very surprised Chris isn't actually pushing that turret harder. He's just getting the minions, the monsters in the jungle. Seeing if he can do anything about it.
He wasn't really under threat, but yeah, he's just farming. Yeah. Ghost playing it very, very slow, and now he's going to go for the 1v1 under the turret. Actually, yeah, you don't want to dive that. There's no real reason to.
Just get the damage down.
Yeah, why not? Walks away. There's actually not a lot of jungle vision for Coast from the top side. They can't easily track the gank paths. They're only super, super defensive wards, so Coast can't feel all that safe on their split pushes in the top lane. Chris identifies that, plays it safely. Top lane Scuttle picked up. Baron's gone for the next 3 minutes. Dragon's gone for 5. Nothing to play for except for turrets. Coast. It took them 5 Dragons to win their last game, and that was a game where they were 12-2 in kills at one point. Coast are very slow to win their games, it feels like.
Their average game time is 37 minutes. They've had 2 30-minute games, and then they had a 40 and a 44-minute one. So they have had some time, but look at this. Just the damage, the root, and
goodbye. Chris spamming the abilities. The slow is too much to deal with. Shrimp's ulti making it happen.
Just an assist coming through. Shrimp is just really cheeky about those. However he can get it, he'll try to get that assist. Every little advantage he can get. It's worth more money on the kill.
Yeah. All right, mid lane still being pushed. Bishu has good wave clear, and of course against Varus Sivir, sieging is difficult.
Yeah.
And Vortex playing well enough with defensive wards and with pretty decent rotations. They're able to defend these wards pretty well. Ko, safe, reveals Shrimp, gets away. Top lane pushed in, but you can see Mash unable to hit these turrets easily. It is hard for Vayne to knock turrets down. Her move block is short range. Chris doesn't do much damage to him either. And Peek and Wolf the only guy, really. No flash means he's got to feel safe by not hitting things.
Mash is in a siege situation. He has Bloodthirster, Blade of the Ruined King, and a Potion of Wrath, so he's full HP again, and he's looking for the pickup.
Oh, Blade of the Ruined King to stop the recall. Goodbye, Ko. Recalled on a ward. Showing the dance moves. Actually, that was the dance and laugh together. Man, Vortex cannot catch a break. They haven't had a kill in so long in this game. They haven't had an objective in forever. The map continues to stay on their side of the map.
Peek and Wolf just got 3 kills and a triple kill. The Baron call, just everything's been going really well for Coast ever since they got that one turret that Mash got top, and then the call for the Baron. Just really good shot calling there. They haven't looked back. 11K gold advantage.
Yeah, Coast have very stiff necks. They don't look back. That was the joke? Yeah, okay. Just making sure you're with me here.
Yeah, yeah. 83 KDA for Mash so far. He's getting there.
Yep.
He's getting there.
But he is sitting on 1 death, so a single death will break that in half.
Yes. 1 death would break it all the way down.
In half.
To 48? 40,
what?
41.
0.5?
41.5, yeah.
There you go. Good job.
I was thinking it was...
You passed 6th grade.
I saw 76 on my paper because that's what he had when this game started, and I was like, I added 10 to it.
You should add 7 to it.
Yeah.
All right, good.
It doesn't matter anyway. He's looking for more. He's looking for more. He's going for the Maokai now. Billy Boss?
All right, it's going to be a flat
got
Billy Boss. Yeah, red buff. A lot of lifesteal, a lot of attack speed.
Silver bolts.
One more hit. There you go. Mash unstoppable. 5-0-3. The split push Vayne. Working slowly but surely. Ward control decent enough for Coast to spot all of Vortex running around the map. Ko forced to play defensively. Shrimp looking for the surround. He's got enough MR to not really take damage here.
84 for Mash.
And Chris has joined the top lane with teleport, sorry, the bot lane, but right under the inhibitor. They're going to clear the wave away. They're going to lock down the inhibitor turret. The inhibitor itself going to go as well. Great split pushing. Coast finding their way in.
Oh, the lockup on the Shrimp.
A lot of damage. Ulti's going to go on towards Chris. Could this be the fight that they actually win? Shrimp forced to flash away. Shields are on. Oh, man. Ooh. They got the kill onto Shrimp, and now Chris slowed as well. But those are some really scary Azir soldiers. Mash on the side. Just going to grab some wolves.
Just that double lifesteal build onto Mash, and the fact that he's been running that Elixir of Wrath for so long, getting 2 kills on top of it. Whoa. It's a little aggressive. A little aggressive.
A little bit. Veritas with the next red buff, 383 minutes on him. He's been the primary split pusher. They've been trying to give him gold. He's on 4 full items in the AD carry, but the problem is it is fairly hard to play Sivir when there is backline reach that aren't threatened, right? This Azira's gonna be able to land some soldiers here.
Nice cleanse from Peek and Wolf, but Conquan and Shrimp still get locked up. The ult team in the back and Shrimp just gets pulled in after the shield, and here comes the Q across all the way to Shrimp.
Oh, he juked into it.
That was just the tip of it, too. And
Vortex gonna try. Shrimp just respawn. There's a bunch of time before the jungler can be here. How much zoning can Ko bring in? Chris dives in. He's gonna buy a lot of time, but he dies right away. Mash cutting away in the backhand side. Veritas in the chase. They turn back for Peek and Wolf, who already picked up 2 kills. They'll kill him back, though. The Emperor's Divide buying a bit of time. Shrimp helping to re-engage a 2 for 2, but the both solos of Coast are dead.
They still have Mash, though, who has that double lifesteal, so he'll be 100% healthy very quickly. And this is a problem.
There's no good wave clear left. All the damage is gone. Mash is the only damage source left on the Coast lineup. He's been spotted out. He can't fight this. Shrimp goes in and he looks for Bishu. There's a lot of damage. They get the kill and in comes Mash. He's going to try to look for Billy Boss. The tank getting focused down. Veritas just running away. It's going to be a 2 for 0. So with only 1 damage dealer, it works out. Bishu goes down. A fight won by Coast 4-2.
They thought it was only 1 damage dealer, but Shrimp comes up onto the low health Bishu, and that was enough damage. They didn't take into consideration that that could happen, and they paid for it.
I think Biofrost died with his ulti still available. I don't know if the cooldown was up when he died, but it's up right now. Level 15 Nautilus. Dragon number 4 claimed by Mash. A 10 KDA now for him in this game, putting him at 86.
86. He needs 14 more.
I don't think it'll be in this game. I feel like one more team fight.
I don't know, man. They play long games.
They do play long games, but with bot lane inhibitor already dead, with Baron on the field, it being this late in the game, death timers are long enough that Coast would or should be able to win the game off of a single team fight.
I gotta say, Mash is playing this as if he's conscious of his KDA. Because that last fight, he got jumped on and then he immediately tumbled and then ran all the way around instead of helping Peek and Wolf.
Oh, Shrimp has Smite. Will they risk the Smite steal against Ko? They jump into Billy Boss instead. A lot of damage from the Vayne and the Rise. They get the kill. Mash is godlike on this Vayne, and back they go one more time. Top lane is dead. Shrimp's at half, but he's got some Lulu shields to keep him a little bit safer. 4,000 health left. Ko, is he going to try for the steal? He's not going to get it. Blue team secures it. Chris gets rooted.
One more arrow. Ooh, nice.
Gonna be fine though. A Baron and a champion kill. One last recall. Coast can look to push in a lot more here. And Vortex forced to play more and more defensively. Billy Boss has been picked on this game as the sole tank. Well, one of the 2 tanks, I should say. 2 and 8 in this game. Just jumped on by Azir and Vayne every single fight. 2 of the best tank killing champions in the game per role.
And a big thing too is he got killed by Chris. Solo. He got killed again by a dive. He got zoned off his turret over and over again, and he got to the point where Chris was no longer split pushing against him, and it was a sigh of relief. But then it was Mash who started split pushing against him, and it was just more kills falling into the hands of Coast, exploiting Billy Boss 2 levels down on pretty much every member of Coast, equal levels to their support.
And here we go. The next attempt for Coast. They've summoned a very aggressive Azir turret at mid-tier 2. This will help them easily siege without getting jumped on. There's just no chance to flank. This Chris barely takes damage from the javelins here. And they're able to dodge away from the arrows and the javelins that come through. Slow push on mid, not getting a lot of damage done. Top lane in a bad spot. They send Vayne to go clear that away. Mash has a ton of money, but they decide he needs a little bit more. They want to get that top lane available. Top lane tier 2 hasn't died in 2 consecutive Baron buffs, which is very interesting that has managed to not die. Of course, they did get bottom inhibitor the last time around. That was pretty slick.
Coast still playing for the 5th dragon as well, so they have a lot of options here against this team, who's just constantly poking them. Oh,
right, we have to engage. A lot of move speed comes through, but Conquan safe enough with Talisman of Ascension. That's why you buy that item. Ladies and gentlemen, it's easy to walk away from those champions. And here comes the counter engage. Bijou super caught out, goes down right away. And the fight continues. Biofrost the front line. Chris takes a lot of damage, but still won't die to Veritas. Javelin catches him. It's a 3-for-1 though, and here comes the last bit of the chase. Mashes in, lands the slow into Billy Boss. Co in the back line. Looks for Peekaboo, gets him actually. And the chase continues. Mash really wants the Maokai. Looks like he should be able to get it. Silverbolt's procs 8-0-4. Co still on the chase. Javelin will not quite catch Conquan, but over the wall he goes. And where exactly is Lulu going to go on this one? A double kill for Co. It's a 4-for-3 though, and it's enough. That Co in a 1v2 might keep the base alive, but bottom inhibitor was already killed off. And here's the push in for the game. 44 minutes and 48 seconds into this one. They're looking to knock down the Nexus. Co cannot 1v2 with the Baron buff minion wave. Mash, yeah, okay. Looks for the kill on the Co. Couple more Silver Ball hits, that'll do it. There's the ace, there's the game. 8-0-5. Mash adds 13 to his already impressive 76 KDA. 89 for him in the Challenger split across 3 weeks. 6-0 for Team Coast. 0-6 for Vortex.
They've clinched that playoff spot as well. You will be seeing Coast in the Challenger Series playoffs as well as Renegades. They've both secured it today. But there's some teams down at the bottom now. 2 0-6 teams. On the complete opposite side. So Coast and Renegades, they've already been through a large part of their easy schedule, and they go up against each other next week. So one of those two teams is going to be no longer going to be undefeated, or both if they go 1-1.
Sure, and also Cloud9 Tempest is only 1 win away from securing it for themselves as well. They're sitting on 4 wins, which is the most that Vortex or Winterfox could get. So we're rapidly approaching a very difficult spot for the bottom of the table with 2 of the 4 playoff spots already out of reach. And if you're 5th or 6th, you don't even get a chance. You are out of the Challenger Series. You must re-qualify up against the 2016 teams, and that could be a difficult road either way. Of course, that's still in the future. We'll see what these guys can do. Yeah,
but Coast, in the present right now, really great performance there. Mash, another deathless game from him. He's had 5 of those now, only 1 death. And like you said, 89. He's 11 away from 100 KDA as just a single person. That's going to look ridiculous on the website. It's going to look absolutely ridiculous.
That's the highest KDA.
Do we even go to that many digits? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? You know, once in a while you see things that high, but
maybe. But this game was really different from what Coast has done in the past. It's been Mash carrying. It was a comeback performance off of a great shot call, and Peek and Wolf came up huge. When they gave him gold, he was able to deliver, which is something I've been wanting to see from him because he's been kind of that backliner. He's the AP Kog'Maw, he's the Victor, he's the Azir who's just poking in the back. This was the first time I've seen him actually dive in every time he could to get to that back line, and I believe that was out of necessity because it was against a poke comp. He adjusted his style to play against the poke and knew that he had to dive into the back, or else he's just going to be frustrated being in his own backline getting poked out. I thought that was brilliant adaptation there by Peek and Wolf.
Peek and Wolf 8-3-4. The Vayne 0 deaths as well. The backline diving definitely worked for the Squishies, and it was a solid game by Coast. A great early game by Vortex. They're doing good things, but once again, we're seeing the favorite team has a better mid game, has better shot calling, able to close it out. No comeback for the underdogs once things go poorly, and it's a 0-6 start for Vortex. We'll see if they can turn it around at the very, very end here. But with 3/5 of the season down, here is where the table stands. Tied for first place, clinching playoff spots, undefeated. Renegades and Team Coast 6-0. In 3rd place is that 4-2 Cloud9 Tempest. Imagine right behind them, 2-4.
And still looking to make their mark are Vortex and Winterfox in last with completely winless scores so far. Now remember, the top 4 teams will advance to the summer playoffs, so time is running out for Vortex and Winterfox if they hope to clinch a spot. These last few games are just absolutely crucial for both those teams.
Well, we'll see if they can reach themselves there, but of course there is more Challenger next week at this same time when the 2 unbeaten teams face off. Renegades up against Team Coast in our first match of the evening. After that, Vortex versus Winterfox looking for their first wins, and then Cloud9 Tempest will close out against Team Imagine. A battle for that 3rd, 4th spot. Gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, and then after all of that Challenger action, it's the ULCS, but that kicks off tomorrow with Week 7 when the Copenhagen Wolves take on the Unicorns of Love. They get things started with Rocats versus Elements, and you won't want to miss H2K Gaming as they try to tarnish Fnatic's perfect 12-0 record. It all starts at 6 p.m. Central European Summertime, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
And that's going to do it from us tonight at the Challenger Desk. Once again, we'd like to say thanks to our guest Solo for the wonderful interview and the awesome blonde hair, and on behalf of myself myself,
Blonde
Zyrene, and the entire live broadcast crew. Thanks for watching. Good night and GG.
See you guys.
I get the last word. No, me. No,
Hey,
I get it.
hey,
I get it.
hey,
How dare you?
no,
No.
hey,
Ah, I'm just saying things. Where are they going to mute us? They're not muting us yet. Why aren't they muting us? What? Is this really still happening? You can
love you
end
guys.
the clip, guys. Boomerang blade. And Chris comes in with flash, looks for Veritas. In comes Shrimp yet again, but getting poked down. This will be a kill. Veritas gets the credit. Push away the backline by themselves. Vortex cannot take this fight. A triple cover peek and whoop jumped up by Veritas. Don't just keep them alive, but a re-engage thanks to Lulu. Keeps Chris alive for a second. Finally, Billy Boss gets the kill, but here goes Peek and Whoop. Gets one. Looks for two. Bijou's on the wrong side of this wall. Bijou super caught out. Goes down right away. And the fight continues by across the front line. Chris takes a lot of damage, but still won't die to Veritas. Javelin catches him.